Hello, everyone. Let me uh, let me remove this banner. Can you hear me? Is the audio okay? Can you please confirm if you can hear me well before starting? Let me see. Yeah, okay. Hello. Welcome, Abite. Abite, how are you doing? Uh, Kimanovic. Kimanovic. Okay, sorry for the pronunciation, folks. Hello, Star Vader. How you doing? Bishal, hello. Men and Codes. Hey, Seloxer. I'm fine, quite fine. It's quite early here. Well, it's not early, but it's 10 a.m. here in Spain. Probably, where are you from? I know there's people from India because I got you from other streams. Okay, Ritade is from Nigeria. Hi, how you doing? Um, what time is it in Nigeria? Uh, it's a 1 hour difference maybe from Spain too. It's 1:30 p.m. in India. Okay, welcome from India. So did you eat or not yet? 9 a.m. Oh, okay, yeah, it's 1 hour difference. It's like I think Morocco. Because I'm from Morocco, and I think it's 1 hour difference. So in some periods of the year it's 2 hours, but yeah. So yeah, let's get started. And just a really quick presentation from me. This is first time I'm presenting myself. Because well, I presented myself before, but more in general, I'll want to make it with this just a small slide. I'm Naufal. Well, sometimes I write it like Naufal, but it's my legal name. My LinkedIn name is Naufal, and I'm from Morocco, but I'm living in Barcelona, Spain. Buenos dias, Gubrik. I think you're from Latam. Um, yeah, the username is Naufal, but it's just because it's easier for people to read than an A and O, like no, just like Naufal. Okay, that's it. So I'm a software engineer here in Spain. I work for a company, and I'm a coach at the MLH. You probably see me in other streams and many events. So yeah, that's me. From Barcelona. I've been living here since I was 2 years old. So yeah, it's been a while now, like 22 years. So that's okay. Um, yeah, that's I like rap music. I really like rap music, but good rap music, like with good lyrics. Because now there's some, rappers that well, okay, isn't like more flashy. I don't like that. Um, okay, so that's me. If you have any question regarding my person, I don't think so, but if someone has, you can ask me on Discord. Okay, and this is the introduction to GraphQL. Probably you've seen it in the title and everywhere. Probably you joined the you checked in. So yeah, and what's the objective of today's stream and workshop? Okay, so okay, just an overview. It will be first of all an introduction, like what's GraphQL, where it came from, what why it does exist. Because if there's an API REST, well, API REST API technologies and they actually work, why there's this new technology called GraphQL? Who invented it? Who is developing it? Um, and you will understand why it's in this global hack week, because actually now it's an open source project. So yeah, let's see. Let me check the questions. I'll be making like gaps of 5 um, 10 minutes to answer questions and have you all, happy. Because I already can see some questions. I don't want to stop a lot, but I'll be keep it stopping because there's some people coming new and I have to recap the all stuff. So hope that's okay with you. Let me check the questions really quick and we'll get started. Let me see. Let me arrange because I have a lot of couple of windows here and just work comfy. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Okay, group break. Buen día. Buenos días. Hope you're doing well. I think you're from Mexico. I think, if I don't remember badly. Okay, man coach says, I want to join MLH as a coach. Does it have a reference system or something? I already applied. Um, yeah. By reference system, do you mean like I don't know, like a referral thing or like a recommendation system from another MLHer or something? Do you mean that by reference system? But yeah, probably if you already applied, maybe I don't know what time, when did you apply, but probably they uh, will not take that much. Probably in the job description or whatever in the past description, you can see like they tell you what times should you expect for a response. I'm not quite sure. I joined like nearly a year ago, so I don't know exactly how it's working now. I'm not updated, but you can ask someone. I'll try if you send me a message on Discord. I'll try to ask someone. Probably they can answer you better because I'm outdated of the process now. Hago. Okay, it says your avatar is amazing. Really look like you. How did you make it? Actually, I didn't make it. I think it's an artist from that MLH has contracted. So yeah, I didn't make it. But yeah, it looks like a little bit. I'm a little bit more fat now, but okay, the face is kind of the same. Um, Yo, hello, Skitty. So I can see. Mm-mm-mm. Never used GraphQL before. Excited to see what it is. Yeah, it's a cool technology. You will see the pros and cons, when to use it, what not. So that's quite important because at the beginning it was like amazing, and it's amazing. But yeah, there's some cons, and that's why it's not used that much. Because probably you've heard like ton of times about REST APIs. Every company has REST APIs, but not that much have GraphQL. Why is that? Let's see it. Mm-mm. I see here some interchange, LinkedIn interchange. That's pretty cool. Yes, recommendation. Okay. From the I don't know if you have any friends at MLH or someone who you worked with. Probably you should ask them so they can ask the manager if they can make a recommendation or something. I'm really out of that, so sorry. Um, Applied 2 days back. Oh, okay, so if you apply 2 days back, probably you should wait a little bit more. Um, I don't know. I don't want to give you times because I'm really outdated, but probably it will take some more time than 2 or 3 days, probably. Glasses. Yeah, glasses are missing. Because when I took the picture, I was seeing good. Actually, I just use the glasses for when I work on the computer, and I don't use them on my daily basis. So it's just when I'm working, because just to get some rest, some eye rest. Mm-mm. Okay, choose your go-to GraphQL or REST API. Well, it depends a lot on what you're trying to build and how you want to build it. Okay, so we'll get into that just right now. I'll just finish reading the comments. Okay, Skitty said, I thought it was Nelfo because I saw it on Discord, but it's Nelfo. I was spelling it wrong the whole time. Well, actually, it can be Nelfo, but if you search Nelfo on LinkedIn or something, you probably won't find anything. But if you search Nelfo, you'll find me. So, yeah. Okay, so no more questions. I see you're having some talks here, so that's pretty cool. Just stay nice to each other. It's a cool thing. Sometimes there's people on the chat who are trying to rage you. Just stay cool. Let's have fun. Let's learn something, and let's go. Okay, so first of all, what's GraphQL? Okay, let me just present you share you the screen, and let me see which screen I'm sharing. Okay. Okay. We'll not be using this for now. Okay, so what's GraphQL? Okay, what it is. Basically, it's a query language. Graph, actually, the QL stands for a query language, and graph is for like graphs. Did you sometimes did graphs like these different connections with different structures? So basically, it's a graph like a graph query language, basically for API, and it was developed, if I'm not wrong, by Facebook, now called Meta, in 2012, and in 2015 it went open source. Please make the font bigger. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. We will not be using this now because I want to show you some other stuff. But yeah, we will get into it. So yeah, it was developed in 2012, and it was open source in 2015 by Facebook, now called Meta. And basically, it's more flexible, an alternative to the REST API, to the traditional ones, because we all use traditional ones. So why does it exist? Okay, so why there was REST APIs, and why there's a need for a new new language, new system to make API calls. One of the problems of REST API. Okay, people are asking to zoom a bit. Okay, so that's because I have the. No worries about the code. We're not going to write anything. Well, I will show you an example now, but no worries. I will make sure the font is bigger once you need to read anything. So no worries about that. So one of the problems of REST APIs is like you need like a lot of endpoints. So okay, let's see an example. Okay, let's see an example so you can have the things clear, and you can see a little bit how this works. Okay, so now for example, this is just an example. Okay, let's see. This is how we make queries on a GraphQL. So okay, so what is this? Okay, we'll get into it in detail just now. We will set up a new project. We'll make some endpoints. We'll make some calls, put some information, make some requests. So don't worry about that. So if you got lost now, because it's just for you to see and to have a clear image, like what I'm talking about, because I don't want to like be technical and all this stuff. I really want you to see what it is. This is just an example. It's not mine. It's this website. So we have all this information are stored in a database or a server or whatever. Okay. So in this case, if we wanted, for example, in a traditional API REST, it will be something like API version 1, let's say. To get like the name, probably it'll be countries. Okay, so it will be something like this, and then let's see. Okay, this will be the base one. Okay, countries. And if you want, this is a traditional one. Okay, what you seen uh, a lot. So countries. Let's say we want the information of the country, of just the country. It will be something like country and the ID of the country. Let's say. Okay, the ID or the name or whatever, or the code. Yeah, okay. So, okay, I have a question here. Just real quick. What is ethical code says? What is GraphQL exactly if you talk in lay terms? It's basically a language to query through an API, let's say. Okay, so you have the traditional REST ones, REST API, and then you have the GraphQL. So it's basically like a query language and a way to make requests and save data through an API, and that's not like the traditional one like this. Okay, so will be the traditional one. And why this is not good? Okay, let's say sometimes you need some information and you cannot make like, you need like this like 20, let's say 4 different endpoints. Oh, okay, you need like 4 different endpoints. Let's say this one gets the name, or maybe you get the country. Okay, and the country retrieves you, this endpoint will retrieve you like the code of the country. I will retrieve you the population. It will retrieve you I don't know, let's say the pip I don't know what it's called. Basically it's like the internal gross well, okay. By the way, just information about the country. Flag, let's say flag color, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so this endpoint will retrieve you like a bunch of information, like 20,000 fields of everything about the country. Let's say you have this endpoint, but you just want the code and let's say the population. Okay, you don't want all these fields. For this, in a traditional way, like SQL queries for APIs. Yeah. It's something similar. Okay, so let's say, for example, in this is, keep in mind, okay, this is old, well, not old, but let's say traditional a REST API. Okay, this is a traditional one. Okay, so in this case, if I just want the code and and the the pip, let's say, or just the code and the population. If I call this endpoint, I will get all this information, and then I have to filter. Okay, just take this from the JSON and this. Okay, if I, in a traditional way, if I just want to get the code and the population, I can create something like API version 1 code and country ID. Let's say. Okay, so this will be a traditional way. And I can get this, and I can create another one called population country. Let's say population. Okay, so code. Oh, okay, no, sorry, country ID. This will be country ID, and here will be population. Okay, we can population. Sorry. Okay, so this will be more in a traditional way. Okay, this will be an old-fashioned, not old-fashioned, but a REST API. Okay, so if we just want to get like these two information, and this endpoint retrieves like all these fields. These are just different fields. Okay, it's not just one. Or imagine like a bunch of fields. Okay. So in this case, if we call this endpoint, we will get a JSON with all this information, but we just want the code and the population, okay? And for that, we need to make two Well, we can structure this differently if you want, but this is just an example. But we'll need to create two different endpoints, one called code and the other population, and we pass the country ID to the, I don't know, or the country name, let's say, because the code will be the ID basically, the the country name, and it will retrieve the population, or it will retrieve the code. So if we want these two information, um, we need to make two API calls. Okay, we can make it different. We can just create this endpoint called code population, and it will just get like both of them. But this is not scalable because for this serves go. Okay, let's see. And then basically we have to preset everything in REST API, and it serves on the going GraphQL. Okay, yeah. So basically the GraphQL thing is, let's just leave this. Okay, you got the idea here, right? So this is not maintainable because maybe someday you will need the pib too, and you will need just to create. It's not maintainable. Okay. So what GraphQL does is basically you at the beginning define a structure of a data, okay, a data structure. And for example, here we have countries. And if we want to retrieve something else, we can just retrieve some fields, but not all of them. Because for example, countries have all the different information we can find here. Let's say countries, continents, country. Okay, so we have all this information. Um, I Okay, yeah. So we have all this information. For example, from a country. This will be in an API REST call. For example, we can call countries name, and we can get all countries, and we get all the countries with all this information. Okay, and GraphQL, what it allows us is just get the information we need, basically. Okay, so in this case, if I need something else like the code of the country, I can just press code, run it, and I just get the code. And this what it does is it lowers a lot the network charge, the response time, everything. Because instead of getting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 fields, you're just getting two, because you just need two in this case. So that what it allows us is not to create like 35 endpoints, different endpoints, just to make like 25 requests and all that stuff. Okay, so this looks like magic, right? This is like the best thing an API developer can have, just a structure with all the information. Let's say emoji. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we get the flag. Okay, so that's cool. Instead of an emoji, you can call it flag, and you get the flag of the country. Let's say we don't want the code anymore. We just want the name and the flag of the country. That's it. That's easy. So all this information obviously is stored in a database, or whatever, or in a file, or where you're getting it from. But just for this case, just not to create a database and all that stuff, we're trying it with this. So let's say a continent. We want to know the continent and then the language. Okay, so continent. Let's see, continent. Oops. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah. In this case, we need some fields. We will get into that later. Exactly. QL query language. Okay. So let's get another one. For example, the capital and the currency. Okay. So boom. So and that's how you get it. Okay. So let's say. Oops. Just got this. There's any question? Any question? I'm reading the section, the comment section. No? All clear. Okay. Okay, great. So let's say, for example, some people can say, okay, this is too much information, and maybe it's not. We don't want all that information. Okay. So let's see the code. We just want to filter code at Andorra. Okay, this is a small country. Let's see how we can filter this. Okay. Let's see code. Uh, codes. We can change this probably to code. Maybe it's not filled credit. Okay, yeah, okay, we're having the same problem. We'll get into that. Okay, okay, I'll show you with the other. Okay, okay. No worries if the people are a little bit lost. This is just an example to see. I'll get a real code example, and we will be inserting some data and getting some data. So no worries if you don't get it. So. Someone, let's see. The graph. So basically, the GraphQL reduces the number of endpoints. Yeah, basically, you have a data structure. We will see that in a bit. Basically, it's a data structure with all the fields that you need, that you have with all the data, and then you can query over that and just get the information you need. In that case, a bit mother says, going over my head. No worries, no worries. This is just an example to show you how it works, so you can get things clear once I start explaining other things, so you know what GraphQL is. Because if I just explain it, you cannot have an image. So I just wanted to show you an image of it. Yeah, exactly what Menon code says. You can get just the data you need instead of everything. Okay, how to use the docs on the right side. Okay, let's go to the docs here. Let's say countries, schema, query. Okay, countries. Let's see if we can find anything here. Let's say country. Let's see. You can find another one. Field. Okay, in this case, we can just find countries. Okay, so let's see countries. Okay, so we have the query countries in this case, and we have the country, and here we can find the fields. So in this case, if there's countries and there's a country and a subtype called, I don't know, maybe population number, and there's men's, females, and others. So that will be just another one. But in this case, we just have the country itself. So it's the type country, and then we have the region, the capital, the emoji, the name, the native, and the phone. Let's say phone, for example. Okay. In this case, we'll get the phone prefix. Probably this is. Let's see. Use open API specifications in your API, and then use a tool like Swagger. Okay, thanks. You just Abby, man. Okay, Abby. No worries. Thank you. Okay. How to add the features of GraphQL to the existing code base. What do you mean? Like if you want to, okay, so for this exact example, let's see if we can change the endpoint. Okay, in this case we cannot change it because we don't own the repo, because probably we can make some changes, but they're not getting accepted. I will check. We will be changing it in the real project we will be making today, so no worries about that. We will just get into that. Okay, so this looks nice, right? This looks like really cool technology that every company that has APIs can use. Why it's not that used? Okay, so let's go right now for some pros and cons for in the differences between the API, the REST API, and the GraphQL. Okay. I thought it was a question. That's cool. Okay, so let's see. GraphQL. Okay, starting with GraphQL, and let's see the flexibility that it has, for example, to make changes. One of the pros is that clients, for example, can request just the data they need, as I explained to you before, and you can reduce overfetching and underfetching. What it means, overfetching, basically, the name suggests, overfetch is getting more data than you need, and underfetching is getting less data than you need, and having to call all the endpoints to get some just little data, and then have the same problem than overfetching. So it's like underfetching, we're making more requests to get more data, but a lot of that data that we're getting, we don't need it. So it's overfetching and again. And the flexibility is especially useful for mobile applications in this case, and scenarios where bandwidth is a concern. And probably for a lot of people have issues. Yesterday we talked about it, like 30%, I think someone said, of the population don't have stable internet connection. And that's when you're calling an endpoint. If you just make a call or a couple of calls, it's not that significant. But once you have for example, Facebook, they developed this technology because, like, the queries they have to run just to get, like, maybe some comments or some okay, hello Tintin. Okay, just let me finish this and I will get into that. Just not to get a lot. I need to make a recap for new people. So basically, yeah, that. So imagine all the queries they have to run and endpoints they need to have. Facebook or Twitter or Shopify. They're using this kind of technology. For example, these companies, Shopify. Imagine, like, all the data they have and they have to run to that, making an app for when you have literally no connection at all. It's really hard to make all that response times low. So Tintin asks, hello MLH community members and audience, how are you? What is the session plan? What is the project that we're going to build? Can you tell us more about it? Thanks. Okay, so yeah, basically we were talking, it was an introduction to GraphQL. I was showing you how, basically, just to have an image, how it works, how it works and the principles. Now we're going through some advantages and disadvantages and related to between GraphQL and REST APIs. And then we will get into our project. The project we'll be building will be just a server with some endpoints. We will be putting some data and querying and filtering some kind of data. So yeah, that's the plan. Yeah. Well, I think Gopri just said this is a repeated bot message. Yeah, I see it a lot, but maybe it's someone that's interested on maybe someone who got a little bit late and wants to be updated, maybe. Can anyone share the associated link again, like the GitHub? What do you mean, Abby? Okay, once I get all the responses. Okay, so yeah, that's the pro. Okay, you just get the information you need. You reduce overfetching and underfetching of data. The flexibility is huge, where the bandwidth, for example, is really low, no internet connection. What's the cons of that? The flexibility at a point, for example, can lead to N+1 query, in this case, issues where clients make multiple small requests to the server, potentially causing performance problems if not handled correctly. So, for example, let's say, okay, so for example, the thing with REST API, you're getting a lot of information, it's overfetching, but you gain the information. If you just underfetch, then the same. You make more call requests, and that maybe it's a problem if it's not handled correctly, or maybe the structure is not good enough. So yeah, that's regarding the flexibility. Okay. So what about the single endpoints, for example? The pro is one of the pros is the GraphQL. Typically, as I showed you before, has a single endpoint, making it easier for clients to access all the data they need from one URL. So, and the cons is the traditional REST APIs often have multiple endpoints for different resources, which can be easier to understand for some developers than just getting like one URL with all the information. So people didn't understand the documentation, for example, right now, and maybe that person with a traditional, with a more used REST API documentation, they will just understand it, and it's like slash API slash users slash name slash ID, for example, let's say, and it's quite more understandable. And with GraphQL, as I explained, it's just one endpoint and where you get all the data from. So yeah, what about the strongly tied schema? I will show you, and I told you before. The pros is that GraphQL APIs have a well-defined schema with types, which provide like strong typing, validation, and better documentation to understand everything. And I think one of the cons, in my opinion, is that schema design and maintenance can be more complex compared to REST simple resource endpoints. It's more like modular, and you can change them easier. But yeah. So, for example, let's see the REST APIs, what advantages they have and what cons. So why it's more used than the GraphQL. As you saw, GraphQL have some problems, some maintenance not problems, but complexity. Let's say it. Let's put it that way. And REST, for example, APIs, the traditional ones we all know, probably we use them. Sorry, is that REST APIs have a predictable endpoints, so it's more easy to understand and use. Like each resource typically represents it's represented by the URL. It's as I told you in a couple of minutes ago, it's like slash users slash name slash country or something. And for example, for products or whatever, it's like the API base URL, and then it's slash product slash ID of the product, and you get all the information of the product. So that's more readable, and for companies, it's quite better because if you're coming newcomer, it's not the same working with API than GraphQL. If you're used to Graph, probably it's just being used to, but probably there's some performance problems and documentation and understandability, let's say. And the cons of REST API, for example, in that situation, is that the predictability can lead to overfetching or underfetching the data, as clients have like no control over the structure of the response. So they just calling the endpoint, getting the JSON response, XML or whatever, and that's it. Let me see the questions. Oh, okay. Tintin's answered. Okay, we glad. No worries. You can ask whatever. Probably you needed like an overview, so that's okay. No worries. Okay, so it is possible that a single call for every required data can result in data exposure to. What do you mean? Like it's possible that a single call for every required data can result in data exposure to. What do you mean by data exposure? Like, uh, oh, mm, probably you mean like the GraphQL, right? Let's see. Yeah. Well, it depends on. Okay, we have another question. I will get into that. Um, yeah, it depends on how you used it and how you have the schema structure. We will see that in a moment with the code. So it depends on how you get the schema structure. So it all depends on what you need, what kind of information do you have, how do you structure the schema, and all that stuff. Okay, you said GraphQL is a single endpoint, but aren't there multiple in this case? For example, for this one, I see continent, continents, countries, country, language, and languages. Yeah, when I mean like a single endpoint, for example, let's say for countries, there's a single one, not like country name, like the example I showed before here, like with the traditional endpoint. That's what I mean by a single one, but not just a single one for the whole project. That will be a mess. I mean like a single one for a single endpoint for every structure that you have. So yeah, with a single one for like 25,000 structures, that will not be that good. Nice, I thought. No, okay. For example, okay, so for example, the server backend is written in an Node.js. What should be done to use GraphQL? If this is a wrong question, then I may be missing something. Yeah, okay. So we'll get into that. Actually, the example is in Node, so you can see it. You just need to set up the server. It's quite easy, and then once you have it, it's just like you got all the endpoints. It's basically, well, it's similar than an API REST when you have like all the resources and all the endpoints, and you make you have like this resource with this kind of information, these fields and all that stuff. So that's okay. It's a good question. No worries. No question is a bad question, by the way. Uh, they're just questions. So no worries. You can ask anything. Well, not anything, anything related to the topic, or anything else that makes sense in this context. So yeah, for example, in REST, also one of the advantages will be catching. Okay, so catching mechanisms with HTTP with REST technologies, well, REST API technology is more effective, so the performance can be improved a lot in this case. And the cons, the same as before. Clients often receive more data than they need, so the cache control can be tricky in some scenarios, because it's not good to save more than you need for the same reason. Okay, Skiddy. Okay, it's a conversation. Okay, so want to go? Let's see. Want to take a rest, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and we will get into the code. So everyone, I need to go to the bathroom, have some water, have my a little bit dry. So and we will get into the code with the example, and that's it. Is that okay for you? Just five. Let's stay 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Is that okay with you? Let's see. Uh, let's keep it five. Okay, so it's more 5 minutes. It's okay. So you don't have to wait that much. Coffee break. Okay, so yeah, between 5 and 10 minutes. I will stay 10 minutes. Let's keep it at 10, if that's okay. So have some rest and be prepared. Open your laptop and your Visual Code Studio, because you'll be writing code. Okay. Okay. So yeah, thank you. See you in 10 minutes. Let's skip it. Hello. Hello. How you doing? Here we are again. Do you have some coffee? Can you hear me? Is the audio okay? Sorry for asking for the audio because I have these the AirPods, and sometimes the battery is low and the audio is it's I don't know, they're old, like 3 4 years. I should buy like these headphones, like mission control, you know, um, this game room headphones. I'm not. I don't play. I don't game a lot, so I don't have. Okay, sounds fine. Okay, that's great. So let's go and let's get into the real code. How can I install it? So thanks for asking. Okay, it's quite simple. Okay. Oh, I had this image here. I found. I think um, it's the best description for. Nah, you didn't miss anything. I was just literally we didn't do anything. So yeah. You're on time. You're on time. Now we should start. So now it's 10 minutes. So don't worry, we didn't do anything yet. I found an image. I think that describes the situation like 200%. So it's this one. Okay, so I think it's quite descriptive. I don't have to describe anything. This is I think this is like the description. What it took me an hour to explain. This picture describes it really well. So here you have a REST API request, API cheeseburger, and you have the information. And this is the 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 GraphQL. Sorry, sometimes I. This is the GraphQL. Okay, so this here you see the skip one, the these variables, the conditions. This is it's a little bit more advanced to get into it. This was just the description. I think it was overwhelming, but yeah, you have the option to choose what kind of data. So, for example, in the case of the countries, you can get all just the countries that have a specific code number starting from I don't know 2, or 3, for example. And in this case, you just get the information you need, and you have some conditions. If vegan, skip the cheese. So no cheese, or maybe it can be the meat. In this case, I don't know why they skip the they skip the cheese and not the meat, but it's okay. But yeah, you get the picture. Do you have did you understand the idea of everything before getting into the code? I really want you to understand the whole idea and why it's done like that, and how to use it, the pros, the cons, and all that stuff. Did you get it? Everything? Any question? Please ask. Don't be shy. Any question you have, and I will just go to the configuration and let's see. I'm using Mac OS. Probably if you're using Windows or Linux, it shouldn't be that different. Why did we use vegan twice? Well, actually, you're not using it here. You're just declaring that the vegan is a boolean, and then you can pass it a true or false. So if vegan is true, and then this condition completes, then we skip the cheese. So basically, you're not saying this is just the declaration of the value it will get. Yeah, like a variable, basically. Boolean. Yeah, basically. Yeah, thank you, Audrey. Because he sets the first as variable boolean and use it in the function. Yeah, it's yeah. No worries, no worries. So yeah, basically, you can pass it like true or false. It's vegan, it's not, whatever. And then this is just a condition, like a programming language. You all know what an if means. And if done, it's basically a condition. You say if this happens, do this. If this not happens, and this skip, add skip, it's basically some nomenclatures from GraphQL. So it's just learning some different keywords, let's say, to make some conditions here and to filter. So if you go GraphQL, okay, here's the website. Let's say install. Have npm. Do you have npm? Okay, Tintin, hello, can you please share the resource reference links in the discussion window panel? Thanks. Yeah, sure. I will send you this one if you want to play with it, just like the playground. If you want to, you already know how to run through that documentation, just play with it. It's a good way to see a little bit how to work with it. Let me make this bigger. Yeah, it's quite easy. We will be installing it now. This is the link. Let me share you the link. I will be making a new project now, so no worries. Code spaces have everything ready. Yeah. So if you run, yeah, basically it's just it tells you how to run it. A little example. That's it. Okay. Okay. So let's get into the code. Let's go. Are you okay? Are you having fun? What is? Let me see. Share screen. Okay. 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 Can you see the screen now? Let me type a little bit, and can you, so you can confirm if you can read. Okay, let me see why I cannot extend them. Oops, let me see. Okay, it's like this, something like this. Okay, can you read it? Let me just put some things. It's okay. Okay, so I have some confirmations here. Okay, so first of all, let me share with you the comments, so it will be easier for you. Yeah, visible. Okay, that's great. Okay, you have npm installed, so you just run. Well, this is just an empty project. I just have a file called server.js. So yeah. Oh, okay. I think I sent the comments and they just I don't know. There was some blank spaces that got deleted. Okay, yeah. Basically, npm init, like every npm node test specification. Okay. The package is created. No test specified. Okay, we don't care right now about the tests. We run the other commands. npm install GraphQL, save, added, and this will be you'll see it for the playground. So we install Express. The force command, it's because this library is deprecated. Well, it's not to maintain right now. A problem with that. So that's it. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me see. Okay, I cannot see you right now because I have the code and the I don't know what it's called, the stream, and I have the comments like hidden because the screen doesn't have too much space. So yeah, basically we just create this file. Okay, so first of all, let me check. We need to Lodash, basically it's a library. So we're using, it's a JavaScript library. for I think Abid just asked. So first of all, we just I'll be just passing the code because I don't want to spend too much time writing. So you can just go straight to explain it. So here we have, okay. So first of all, we got the imports like every project. By the way, I will be sharing all this code. So if you're interested and you want to play with it at the end, so no worries. Okay, so we have the all the imports. Okay, let's say we want to create I don't know some endpoints to retrieve data from books. Okay, let's say. So we create a variable called slice. Let's call it. Uh, okay. Let's see. It will be just a simple structure. Okay. First of all, I want to add the books, and then we will get into the book type and all that stuff. Okay. So in this case, we can just well before the adding the books, we declare the structure, the graph object that I talked to you about. So you define then the structure and all that stuff. So let's call it book type. It will be new. Is declared like this. New graph QL object type. It should be. Let me see. Object type. Okay. So opened, and here we declare we need to set those values. Okay. First of all, the name of the name it will have. So in this case, the name will be book. Let's call it book in this case, and the fields. Okay. This reminds you to something. This looks like a test, a unit testing in Go. Okay, so we have the ID of the book, and the ID will be let me see, type. This will be a graph QLI. Okay, so it'll be auto incremental if we don't specify in this case, for example, the book ID, it will just get incremented. So no worries about that. So here we specify all the fields and the type you will have. Okay, in this case, the type will be GraphQL string. Okay, and let's say the author. Okay, let's add an author. That will be to a type GraphQL string. Okay. Okay. So this is it. Okay. So this will be the name, and let's say let's put it this way, just not to get confused. Okay. So here, what we need to define, for example, in this case, is the ID. Let's say oops, sorry, it will be the ID, the title of the book. It will be, I don't know, the catcher, and an author will be James Culp. Okay, let's say. Okay, so we will be copying this to put 2-3 more books. Let's change the ID. Again, if we don't introduce the ID, it will be generated. So we'll be seeing mutations. Mutations basically is when you modify things, or when you modify the values, and you will see this ID thing. Let me see the questions if there's anything. It's on the JavaScript library. Okay. Now I get it. Thanks. Just a way to create computers. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so no question. I see you having a nice conversation, so that's cool. Okay, so in this case, the catcher, let's say, I don't know, trip to India, written by, let's see. Great. Def, and this one is written by Abit. And this one by Rush. Okay. Okay. Trip. Let's say I don't know. Trip to Antarctica. And yeah, that's it. Okay. So we have the books here. Now we have our list of books, and we have the book type. In this case, we have the name, the fields, and that's it. That's all we need in this case. So let's see, for example, how we can make, how we declare, in this case, for example, like the endpoints or the query root. So basically, it will be root query. Oops, sorry. Things root query will be a new GraphQL object type, and oops, will be okay. So the name will be, in this case, query, and let's see the fields. Okay, so this is important because see fields. Okay, so books was the first one. Let's see type. Just get me have the GraphQL list, new GraphQL list, book type. Okay, so and resolve will be books. Okay. Okay. So here what we can do. Let me. Anyone thinks anyone asking? Do you have any question till yet, or it's okay? Okay. Let me see the time. Oh, okay. We're running a little bit out of time, so let me see if I can get the code and explain it straight, so we don't have to write it. Okay, let me see. A bunch of folders here. Okay, I think with this code we can. Okay, I think with this, obviously I had it. Had to make some tests before to get everything done. So okay, let's get it. Let's get this. Okay, so let's start. Let me see if I make this bigger. Do you see it bigger or not? Let me see. If I make this bigger, okay, you see it smaller. Okay. Okay, so in this case, we have the books. We have the book type declared here. So basically, resolve is basically, let's say, like the query you're making. So you're just resolving, for example, in this case, what we want to do with this one is to filter the books by I don't know, let's say the title. Okay, books by title. So we resolve, we we specify the arguments we're going to be using, and then books, the filter. This is more JavaScript code for people who writes JavaScript more often. So basically, it's a way to resolve the query and get the results. And here you can add the filters that you need and everything. Okay, so for this example, we introduced some of them. Like this one will get all the books, so the resolve will just be the books. Okay, because we want them all. We are not filtering anything in this case. And for this, okay, so as you can see, this one and this one can be unified because they're the same, but well, just to keep it more visual for you to see like all the books, books by title, books by author, and basically the type we declare the type, book type. This is quite okay. Raj is asking, are we going to get the GitHub link for this repo? Yeah, sure. I can upload it once we finish, so we can just copy it. I think there's a website. I think there's a website that you can. I used it before for another workshop that you just put the code and send the link, so you can get all the code. But yeah, no worries. I'll send you the. We'll be uploading it now, so you can see it. And yeah, no worries. You will get the code after this. So here's, let's say for example, let's take this as an endpoint declaration. Okay, once you have like, yeah, Replit. Yeah, I think it was REPL.it or something like that. Okay, so yeah, no worries. You'll get the code after the stream once we finish. So no worries. Okay, so in this case we have all books, and this the result, what it does, it get us all the list of the books. In this case, okay, so we just put it in this way because it's more easier. But if you have all the data in the database, you should probably get it from the database. But in this case, it's just a simple list. So resolve books, and then we have the books, the whole list of the books. And then if we just want to get the books by the title, to filter them, we can just get the books, and then add the filter to, well, we just lowercase the title and the book title and the argument is maybe if there's a book that has a capital letter and you try to search it without the capital, it will just not find it because it's case sensitive. Case sensitive basically, it means that if you put a capital in well, a non-cap, a lowercase and uppercase, it gets the difference. So in this case, it's case sensitive, so we have to lowercase all the we have to lowercase the book title and the arguments, the arguments we are searching with, to lowercase, so we can have a match without this capital non-capital thing. It's that may be confusing. This is the same. This is the same example, but instead of the title, the author. Okay, so we're passing an argument called author, and the author will be resolved doing the same thing to lowercase. We can just delete this and leave author. But just in this case, if we misspell the name with a capital letter or not, so we don't have it basically remembers where you use the capital or lowercase letter. Yeah, not remembered, but it takes it into account to filter. So if you have, for example, this register is trip to India. Okay, so if I try to search trip to India, it will not get it because trip is with T capital. Okay, so if, for example, we lowercase all this, so we have this will be lowercase, so this uppercase will be this, and then we get the match. So yeah, basically for that. So for example, with IDs, you don't have that problem because the number is not capital or not capital, so it's just the number. So yeah, here the same books by author, and we have the same example. And here we have the ID. Okay, so we can search find by the ID, and that's it. So here there's no capital letter. Books by title and author. So we can, in this case, we can filter by both. Yeah, I convert both. Yeah, operands to uppercase or lowercase and check for match. Yeah, it can be uppercase too, but it's more common to be lowercase. But yeah, it's up to you. It's up to the project you're building. So yeah, completely feel free. Okay, so here we have this example to be able to search by the title and the author. So this is quite more well, it's quite more, let's say, not complex, but it's more like precise. Okay, so the mutations. What are the mutations? Okay, mutations basically when you want to add books, for example, and delete books. So in a regular API REST, it should be something like users, something like this, something like users. You have new, and then this is a post. No, this is a post request, and then with the user you have the body, and the body you have all the information of the user name, da da da, and all that information. So you have all the information, and then you have the parameters, params. Maybe you have any param or something, and then you have the authorization key and everything. So this is the way to. This is something similar, just to mutate. In this case, it's called mutation. So you mutate basically the data, you delete. In this case, we will be adding a book and deleting a book. Okay, so the please show the please show the rest code in a separate file. Beginners will be confused. What do you mean by separate? Oh, okay, like the mutation thing, or what do you mean? Is this is just it's just this? We will be running the code now, so you can see it in an example. So yeah, basically resolve, same, get the book. The ID I told you before. In this case, we don't need to assign it manually at when we add. We can just take the length of the list of all the books we have. So for example, we have 7 books, then it will be 7 plus 1, so it's the 8th book. No. The endpoint URL, do you mean like the API REST your endpoint URL? That was just an example. It was not real code, actually. Mhm. Okay, so okay. Oh yeah, no. The API REST was just an example to show you like the equivalent to an API REST mutation, but it's not. We're not going to be doing API REST because it's more GraphQL in this case. So it was just to see to show you like the equivalent of the same request, but in API REST. Okay, not in GraphQL. Um, okay, so yeah, mutation. Basically, we'll be adding a book and deleting a book. Okay, so it will just be that. Okay, so once we have this, we define the schema, and this is the library we imported before, so we can. This will be basically just like Postman or something like that. So yeah, install Express. Okay. Node to run it server.js. This should run the server here. Okay, here we have it. Let me share you the other screen. Remove. Okay, let me share you the other screen so you can see the example. So okay, it's this one. It's this one. Okay, so the setup is quite easy, and once we run it, we will be getting something like this. Okay, so this is for us to be able. This is the server running to be able to make the request. So in that case, we can call the 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 different endpoints we set, the root queries in that case, if you remember them or not. So we will be using it by the name. So in that case, do you remember all books? All books, basically what it does, it gets all the books. So we'll be getting books and ID. Let's say just unexpected name, all books. Okay, let me see if it's. Mm-mm-mm. Should be that one. See. Okay, so I was missing. Yeah. Great. Shouldn't. Okay. Let me see. Root mutation. Shouldn't it start with query or mutation as they are the root? Let me. Oh, okay. Sorry. Let me see the question. Shouldn't it start with query or mutation as they are the root objects? Actually, there's two of them. So there's the root query and the root mutation. So in this case, we don't need to add more because we already have the book sample. Uh, won't assign one assigning IDs by book length gives problems. There will be duplicated IDs if we add a book after deleting a book. Yeah. Basically, the ID assignment is just an example to differentiate the different books. But in a real case, it shouldn't be the best way, obviously, because it will be there's probably there will be like 25,000 calls, introducing like 25,000 books and like getting the length and then adding it's just a mess. Probably in a real case, it will be I don't know, maybe I don't know, just a random assignment or something related to the I don't know, any hash ID or something. So yeah, I think that was the question. Anybody participating? Oh, okay. So basically, the difference between query and mutation, basically, it's in this case a term. So basically, query is when you try to get information and you make queries and filter them and all that stuff. And mutation, it's basically a way to say how to make a post, a delete, or put. Oh, okay, yeah. Defendant just answered the same. So yeah, queries when you get, and mutation is when you try to mutate the data. So yeah, okay. So let's see. Now we have all books. Okay, so this is the structure we defined. Okay, let me see because there's no formatting here. Okay, so we have the books. What else? The book has the name. We added a name to the book. No, it was not called a name. Let's see what it was called. It was called. Oh, okay. So yeah. So let me see. Books. Oops. Okay. Name. It was not. Didn't call it a name. A title. Okay. It was title. It was not a name. Yeah, title. Yeah, title. Sorry. And then we had the author. Okay. So let's say. Okay. So now it's cool. Okay. Now let's see how we can, in this case, search by, I don't know, just the ID, or add a new book. Okay, let's filter. Let's save this. Okay, we'll open a new tab. Let me see where I can save it so I can remember the names of the books, and we can start filtering by the book itself. Let me save this here. Okay, okay. So I have the names saved. So okay, so let's say we want to filter by author, okay, or by title. It will be books by title. Okay, so you have an auto suggest here, and here we have to add the parameters we're trying to search with. So in this case, by title, we assigned in the code the title will be the matching. Okay, this is not be here this anymore. Okay, let's see the title. Let me take one title: trip to India. Okay, let's say trip to India. Title will be trip to India. Trip to India. Okay, so in the best case, okay, now we have the all the results filtered by the title name. Okay, so if I just put trip to India, it will get it anyway. Okay, because do you remember it was converted to lowercase and then it was searched? So we'll not have a problem here. Let's say we want to filter it by the author. Okay, let's say filter by author. Author. Here we add the author. Do you remember any author? Let's say Rush. Rush was an author. I remember. Okay. The author was under. Yeah, it was lowercase too. Okay, so let's say Rush, and then we search. Okay, so we have all the information. Let's see if we can get just the ID of the book. Each one. The author basically is the same one. It's Rush. Can you see here? It's in capital, and here we can search with capital and without capital. Okay, so that's the thing about the lowercase thing that I showed you before. So let me see if there's any question. Okay, no questions. That's cool. Okay, and you can search basically by ID too. So search by ID. Book by ID, and then ID. Let's put ID number 2. Let's see if we can get this. ID number 3. Okay, number 2. Let's see. That's great. Okay. So yeah, basically you can filter by multiple conditions, like we saw before. Book, let's say books by title and author that I showed you before. So here you can add the title, it's a string, and the author you can add the author too. It will be a string. Let me check one of them. Let's see, Abid, author. Let's put Abid, and trip to Antarctica. Okay, trip to Antarctica. Yep, we got it. Let's see if we misspell the title. Oops, there's no books. Let's see what happens if we just put one part of. Oops, it's not working. Why is that? This is because it matches exactly the same value that you're looking for. Okay, so in this case, there's if you want to make like regex like regular expression, let's say, and want to make some there's some ways to make filtering in that case, like we saw before with this image, like skip, vegan. There's more commands, so you can keep in mind that you can search by not matching the whole title but just part of it. Okay, so maybe just all the titles that contain Antarctica or something like that. Okay, so keep that in mind. Check out the stream. It was meant for. Okay, so I see there's a nice conversation. Okay, let's see how we can add data. Okay, what's the mutation that I showed you before? What's mutation? Okay, so let's go with the mutation thing. Okay, we just call mutation. That's the name we called it. Add book. Let's see. Title will be something like, select this. Let's see if we can run this. Thor George. Let me see on type query how it was defined. Okay, it was defined with a capital. I think that's the problem. Oh, cannot query files. Let me see. It was add book type. Let me see into the code real quick. I think you cannot see the code. Okay, let me see the code here. Book query. Root. Type query. Line 2. Oh, okay. Oh no. It's not that. I just deleted the wrong ones. Okay, we'll get into that soon. It should be mutation. Okay, we'll get into that soon. Okay, let's see how we can just not to spend too much time. Let's see, mutation, why? Okay, let me rerun this thing here. Mutation. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. This should be okay. Okay. Thing. Yeah, I tried to, but thing. It was. Okay, now, okay, because I tried to remove it before and it was this, it was red. Okay, I've changed the name of it on the code, so that should be okay. Okay, so now we have the data added. If we add another one, do you see the ID is incremental? So if we click add block, add book, we can see the title and the author, because that's the parameters that it's getting. So yeah, that's how basically you add some values. Let's see if we can add another one. Book 23. I know 23. That was written by the author was Santin. Okay, let's say. Okay, we can add as much as we want. So let's try to query now over all the books. Let me see if do you have any question? No. Okay, it will be the same function that we used before, the books, and then ID, title, author. Oops. That's it. So now we can see the whole books 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's it. The ID was auto incrementing. We can change the ID on the code to specify which part. Okay, so I see there's no questions. Let me show you again the code. So basically, that's how you use mutation, or you can delete. Actually, you can delete a book in this case. Okay, so do you remember the delete book um, function that was specified? We can pass it. I don't know, the book with ID number one, ID title, say author. This should be able to, okay, must be only defined. Okay, let's get this data, delete book. Let's query again. Okay, so we cannot see the book number one because it was deleted. Okay, so yeah, basically that's how you delete. It's a really basic example. Actually, it's more beginner friendly. But yeah, there's a bunch of things you can do. Filter by a lot of um, filters. Search by everything. You can add stuff. In this case, we just used. Let me show you the code again. We just used a simple list with some data. Let me see. It's this one. Server. Okay, it's this one. Okay, this is the project. Let me see. Okay, this is the code. Okay, this is basically the couple of mutations that we had, the delete and the add book, and the other filters, the queries, the mutations, and the queries to search. This is the root query, root mutation, and here they are defined, and here you run the server. It's quite easy. That's how. um, yeah, sorry, you were the first one and the first one to leave. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, yeah. Nice book, by the way. We like that. Okay, did you get a little bit of the examples? I'll be. Let me just upload this. Let me get this. Okay, I will just upload this repo, and I will give you the sorry the the code. I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't. Okay, I will call it GraphQL MLH. Let's see. Public, create a repo. Okay, let's say it's let me see. Let me see. Okay, it's this one. True. Okay. Let me just upload this real quick. Source. Okay, let me see. Okay, I will just upload it now. This will be the repo. So yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I just okay. That's the problem, doing too much things at once. Sometimes trying to explain too much. Yeah. Okay. So hope you had the example. Did you understood a little bit? Yeah, the Go modules, but okay, no worries about that. I'll just upload it now. So gets okay, yeah. Let me see. Okay, now you should get it. Now you should get the code. Right. Oh, okay. I think because I don't have some. It says I don't have access because I need to configure some stuff. But okay, no worries. If you let me upload the code to REPL.it. Start creating Google. So yeah, defendant already created the repo, but yeah, it was a permissions problem because I added the 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 modules and they get ignored. I tried to push the changes and didn't change. But well, I created a REPL.ai JavaScript. I'll show you. I'll send you the link right now. MLA GraphQL MLH. Okay, create. Okay, I will just copy all the code and paste it here so you can access all the code and run it. It should be quite simple. Okay, let me see. Invites. Let me show you the screen. Screen share so you can see it. Index. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, what are the cons of GraphQL? You said the endpoints were hard to understand unless documented, but that doesn't seem like to me. Yeah. Okay, so this is a really basic example as you mentioned, but imagine, for example, having, let's say, Shopify, for example, you have an online store and you have like thousands of orders, and you need like a user wants some information from an order, but you need to get some more like a relational database. Imagine, okay, you have some information here, some here, some here, and you have to make like 12 requests, different requests, and to get like little information. You're making a lot of requests to get less information because with an API REST, you just make a request to orders and you get all the orders. So it's just one request. In terms of network complexity and bandwidth thing, it's more complex. And the documentation, it's because, for example, let's say you have a documentation for a REST API with orders, users, and all that stuff. So let me just share this real quick. And okay, yeah, I'll share it, the link now. So okay, probably with this link you'll be able to find it, to access it. So okay, yeah, you can access it with this link. Okay, so yeah, what I was saying, defendant, imagine you have all these endpoints like users, orders, and all that stuff. You'll basically have API / v1 or version 2 or whatever / users / orders. Imagine, okay, and there in the user, you just put the ID of the user and you get all the orders. Okay, but imagine, for example, having that's for a documentation. You just get like all the endpoints for users, orders, and all the information you want to check, and you just access it really quick. But in this case, for example, you need to know how the schema works and, well, how the schema is structured, how the data is structured, how everything has what is everything, so you can call this endpoint to get the books, and maybe the authors are in another schema. Imagine you have like a more relational infrastructure API, so that's quite more complex to deal with than getting like documentation with every endpoint where to get the information from, and not having to be not having to know like all the, because in this case, for example, if because this is a basic example and it's just three fields. But imagine you don't know what the name of the fields are, and you want to get all this information. You just keep searching for documentation to get like the whole schema, how it's structured, which fields you can find in the books, which fields you can find in another place, And with an API REST, you just make a request to an endpoint, and it will just get a JSON, JSON preferably, in my opinion, or an XML with all the fields, all the information that you need, everything. It's quite more heavy. You're getting a little bit more data than probably you want to, but that's the con of REST API than in Graph. It's not a bad thing. GraphQL, it's not like worse or something. It's the same as good as a REST API, but it depends on the use you want to give it. There's some big tech companies that use it. For example, Twitter, now X. I don't know if it's still X. Well, Twitter using it. I think so. And for example, Meta is using it. Shopify is using it. So it's not a small technology. It's really complex and it's really cool. It's open source. You can work on it if you want to. And yeah, basically that's everything has a pro and a con. So basically that's some. For example, this is not the same. For example, let's say than having also. Okay, so Star Vader says even GitLab is migrating to it. Yeah, so imagine, for example, I don't know, in terms of complexity, it depends on each one, because there's more people that find this easier to read and understand than an API REST that has, I don't know, this. For example, the image I showed you, it's simpler to call this API endpoint and get all the information than querying through. This one is better because in terms of performance, you're just getting the right information you need and just the information you want to. And here you get all the information and you have to filter them. Just get the information you need. There's more overload of data and all that stuff, So it depends on the use, the preference, on the technology you want to use in the future, the type of technology you're developing, everything. So it's not that simple to say this is simple, this is harder, this one is easier. But I hope you've seen a little bit of an introduction in how to use it. As you see, it's really easy to install if you have Node.js to build up the server. So you have the link. Again, you can check the code. Can anyone please confirm that you can access the code on replit.com, please, so you can play with it later? Let's see if we can run it here. Probably you can run it here. Oh, okay. I think it's could not resolve dependency. Okay, so if not, just in the local with the comments that I shared with you before. Let me share. I will pass the comments to start the project. I'll put them here at the beginning. Okay, if that's okay with you, I'll just put them here. Let me just comment this. Okay, so you can install it and start it, and then it's basically the same. Okay, node server.js. Remember that server.js is the name of the file, so if you put an index file, remember to change this. Okay, so just run the file. It will create the local host in the port 4000 or whatever you specify here. Sorry, here, not here. So whatever you specify here, just go to the port and start playing with it. You'll Okay, yeah. Now it doesn't work. Is I stopped it in the local environment. So yeah. Yes, accessible. I can access it. Yes. Okay, great then. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's it. Hope you had fun. If you have any question regarding this or other streams I made, just send me a message on Discord, and I'll be more than happy to help. Hope to see you on the next one. I think it's for me. It's over this Global Hack Week. I don't have more streams. So yeah, I'll miss you for sure. But I hope to see you in the next one. I think it's in November. The career week. So if for all of you who are studying or in the university, want to get a job, want to know how to find that great job to maybe work on Meta or GitHub or a big tech company or even a consultancy, small consultancy or software company or whatever. So get ready for the next month and get ready to get some job interviews on November and December because you'll probably learn a lot. So I'll just read some comments here. The code, okay, we confirmed that. Great session. Thank you so much. I'll rate Natalia. Thank you so much for being here and for supporting me for 2 hours. I know it's not um, an easy thing to support someone talking like 2 hours straight, but hope you had fun. Thank you, defendant. Hope to see you on the next one. Star Vader, thank you so much. Avita, thank you so much. Um, and Go Break, yeah, see you in November for Career Week. That's for sure. Hope to show you some good stuff and help a lot of you to probably maybe get a job interview or I don't know, maybe to learn a little bit more. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much, Rydergon. And Skinny, thank you so much. I'll be leaving. There's someone coming, so I don't want to disturb anyone. So thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one too because I know a lot of you are getting out of college or just finished college and wanting to land a job, or I don't know, maybe some of you have a job and want to explore a better company or I don't know, new technologies or whatever. So it will be really fun. Um, yeah, Manon Codes. I just saw that. I got the notification, but I couldn't respond. I will go to respond to you now. I'll be at Career Week too. Yeah, I hope to see you. I'll remember your name. If you're not on the streams, I'll send you a Discord message saying, "Hey, wake up, wake up, wake up." Nah, I'm just kidding. Okay, Skiddy is still in college, so okay, maybe when you finish, knowledge is not going anywhere, so you can learn and then apply it later. So okay, thank you so much, folks. I left my mates to come and show you more things. Can you give the Discord link? You can find me by my name, Neofall79. Yeah, you can find me and send me a message if you need anything or any technical question, anything with the setup, or you need to configure anything. Just send me a message. Um, yeah, a wake up call. It will be a really tough call. Like I'll be calling on Discord like the whole day before. Okay, thank you so much, and have a nice day. Hope you had a great week. Hope you learned a little bit. Hope you want to explore more about GraphQL. It's a really nice technology. I really like it. Unfortunately, we don't use it on the company where I work, so I don't have that much time to work on a lot of personal projects. But yeah, thank you so much, and have a great day. Thank you so much.